Be down with us at 804-402-2893. We got a hot show. We got Big Rube in the house. We got SY. We also got a special guest. We got a lot to get into tonight. Ain't no half step on Marcus J is right now.
It's about that time. It's about that time to get.
Button your lip, open your ears, strap on your thinking cap. Socially conscious talk that's entertaining with a dash of humor and the top sports stories of the week. It's time for Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J.
Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go. Puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago. Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. He hits one deep to right center. That ball is out of here. The Yankees win the pennant.
If they lying,
then you must be half stepping.
ain't no half step on Marcus J is back once again for a live show. Be down with us. 804-402-2893. Be down with the flagship show right here, Legacy Internet Radio.com. That's your man, Big Rube. I'm going to introduce him here in a minute. He wasn't here last week, so I think he's feeling himself tonight. But it's good to see him. We're glad to have him back. We got a live show for y'all tonight. We got our opening segment, What's Happening, What the Hell. That's what we're going to do to start it off. And we got a whole lot of stuff to get into today. We had a shooting in a Nevada school. We got something going on at a historically black college. And we got some other stuff that we're going to get to tonight. So we're definitely excited about that. We got a missing child, as we do every single week. SY has a special segment that she's going to introduce to us, and Big Rube's going to close it out with a round table. So we got a hot show, got a lot to get into, and we appreciate everybody here listening to us, as I do every single week. Go around the room, get the crew in. First of all, I want to make sure I'm giving out the phone number because we definitely want to have an interactive show tonight, and we also want you guys to hit us up on the Ain't No Half Step on Marcus J fan page. SY's got some stuff she wants to share with you, and we definitely want you guys to hit us up there. 804-402-2893. So as I do every single week, I always like to introduce my special guest, someone that I have in the building with us tonight. I got my sister, Miss Brandy, with us. What's up, girl?
Not a thing, not a thing. How are you?
Doing fabulous. Good to see you. Thank you for being here with us.
Not a problem. I'm always glad to be here.
That's what I'm talking about. And of course, going around the room to introduce the staples of the crew, I got Miss SY in the building. What's up, girl?
Hold on, showing these.
Oh my God, she over there. She over there eating, y'all.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm concerned.
Oh gosh, here we go. We got a concern. Okay.
What's wrong?
What's wrong with who?
You.
Me?
You're not as happy
You're like,
sounding as usual.
For real?
I mean, last time I was
somebody
super
steal
happy,
your
I
bike?
got yelled at. So I'm saying,
Somebody took your bike?
Nah, I don't have no bite.
somebody
What's
kicked his
somebody-
dog.
Oh Lord, what happened?
I don't know what y'all talking about.
You're too mellow.
It's the glasses. He doesn't have on his regular glasses tonight.
Is that what it
Oh, is that it?
is? Actually, you know what? I don't have no tent tonight, so I think that's what it is. I'm normally in here.
So your tent's going now. You really see us. You're upset.
Well, it's going to be that kind of
It's
party.
going to be that kind of night. It's going to be that kind of night. They start with me, Joy, already. What's going on,
I'm just
Joy?
concerned.
Joy says peace to you, SY.
What's up, Joy?
And whatnot. She's one of our biggest fans, and we love you, Joy. Thank you for being with us every single week. Big Rube.
What's going on, man?
Big Rube.
No, man, I'm changing it. For the 2014.
It ain't 2014 for another 3
I
months.
understand. I'm trying to get an early jump.
Well, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I'm still thinking about it.
I'm just saying,
figured I'd just
man,
answer.
it would be nice if you let the host know that you're going to change your own intro. My goodness,
Does it
man.
have something to do with the way you said your It must be
Blah, blah,
half-stepping.
I mean, his little half-stepping thing was really weird. And now when
I want to change it up a little bit, man. I just gotta shock the room.
No.
And that was a pretty shocking room. Y'all were just like,
you don't
what
wanna
the
shock the
hell
host.
is going on?
The host likes to be
we're not ready.
involved. You know what I'm saying?
was like,
you see
yikes.
how he does me?
Why do I have to involve you with everything? That's just you being needy, man. Stop being needy.
Needy? What you talking about?
I mean, you don't gotta be involved in everything.
A little attention. Maybe that's why you acting like that.
I don't even want to talk to y'all no more. And the only reason why I am talking to y'all is because the show is from 7 to 9:30, and I got officially 2 hours and 24 minutes left with y'all. The only person in the room who ain't annoyed me is Brandy because I love her, and Ruben is a nutcase, and SY is being mean to me.
So you're trying to say you don't love me now?
SY, would you like to
you
go
can
ahead?
do the show yourself.
Would you like to go ahead and introduce our special guest that's hanging out with us tonight, please, so that we can move on, please? Who we got?
It's the lady on all twos, y'all. Miss Brandy.
It's a little cold for the all twos right now.
I was talking about the other special guest.
Oh, that one back there.
Yes, that special guest. Yes.
Oh, you want to say hi?
We won't be seeing MixLR lighting up tonight from our new number one fan, since the original number one fan has joined the crew. Our new number one fan is joining the crew in studio tonight, normally hitting us up on the MixLR. We got Kaz in the building. What's going on, Kaz?
Hey, what's happening? How you doing?
Good to see you. Thanks for being here with us. Oh my goodness, we fighting up in here. All right, let's get right to business, y'all. We got a lot to get to tonight. In this segment, we like to call it the "What's Happening" segment, or the "What the Hell," whichever one we feel like getting into. If it's silly, crazy stuff, then it's "What the hell." But if it's some serious stuff, like what's going on in Nevada today, then that's the "What's Happening." So first thing we getting into is the shootings that we had at the Nevada Middle School. I'm getting this from CNN. The story is breaking. You can get this pretty much from anywhere out there. But you had a shooter who got a gun from mom and dad. There was a teacher that was killed today. The teacher was by the name of Mike Lansbury. The shooter opened fire at the school. He used a handgun that he took from his parents. The law enforcement officials said that fellow, of course, had been briefed according to the situation. The shooter used a handgun, and then he shot and he killed himself. You had 2 dead. Witnesses say that the teacher, of course, was protecting students at the time. Big Rube, I want you in on this one first. We talked a little bit ago about it. I don't know that we need to really get too deep into the specifics of this case. I usually like to bring these things up simply because of the epidemic that we have nationally with these kinds of things. I've gotten to the point personally where I am no longer surprised by it. Mrs. J, anybody that knows me knows that she's an educator, so I do have a level of worry from time to time. Not just her, but I know quite a few educators personally, whether it be in my family or outside my family. So I do get a little bit nervous when I hear it, but then when I see where it is, unfortunately, my nerves go back to normal, and then I just remain annoyed, pissed that it happens. Big Roo, why don't you give me your thoughts on it, man?
Any person who goes into a school with a gun and shoots anybody in there is a coward. And you're even more of a coward when you shoot yourself after it. If you can't own up to what you've done, just don't do it. It's that easy. And to me personally, I hate all of them. And if you're going to go do that, then I'm not on your side. You done for me.
Brandy, what are your thoughts?
He may have been a victim of bullying. You don't know what the circumstances are. So, but still in all, you can't take justice into your own hands that way. I could go on a rant with this, but
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, back in the days, you didn't hear about no craziness like this, and everybody had a gun in their house because they were hunting in the country, at least where I was from. But you never heard about nobody taking a gun to school. Back then, teachers used to, be able to discipline the kids in school. Parents discipline kids. It wasn't just time out. And yeah, that's pretty much. I'm gonna stop right there.
And it's not like people just started getting bullied like yesterday. People been getting bullied for years.
I got bullied. I never once thought about
the level of bullying has increased really bad.
Yeah, but still, it's
different.
It's whatever.
I remember going to school. I got bullied. I remember I got jumped a couple times. Bastards broke my glasses. You know what I'm saying? This is not new. And I'm with Big Rube. If you that kid that took a gun to school because you got bullied, you straight punk. And now you taking somebody out because you mad. You know, I feel bad about kids who get bullied because it's not cool. I'm not sitting here endorsing it. Like, we had a girl last week who jumped off a freaking water tower because the girls at school was telling her, you should kill yourself, please die, and all of these real nasty things. But I don't know that this particular kid was bullied, you know, so I don't want to attach that, you know, to the situation. But if that is indeed the case, y'all, for real, you killed 2 people and then yourself because somebody was picking on you. That, to me, that's why it's going a little bit too far.
I feel bad for both families. I really do.
I don't know. It's just crazy to me. And, you know, have Steppin with Marcus J. We got a lot to get to, so we're going to quick hit these things and move on. This next one, I ain't gonna lie. This next one, I probably shouldn't laugh.
Because I see the smirk come on.
I should. I probably shouldn't laugh. Actually, we're getting a hit from Steven Sykes, Enliven Radio, Mr. LP, host of Enliven Radio every single Tuesday from 7 to 9. He's talking about, well, I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to, but he's saying it was always there, especially in the cities back in the day. Just now it's happening in other areas. I'm thinking he's talking about the shootings, but I disagree. The shootings weren't always there. The first shooting that any of us in our general age group can think of was Columbine, and that was in April of 1999. I can't remember any school shootings any time before that. Not saying it didn't happen, but I don't remember them. And if they did happen, they happened so infrequently that they wouldn't be on the tip of your tongue. And in the inner cities, I'm 100% disagree with you on that one, because I grew up in the inner city. I ain't never heard about nobody getting shot in school. Well, now, you might get cut. You know what I mean?
Well, that was gonna be my question. Back when you went to school, did they have metal detectors and things like that in your schools?
Nah, they didn't.
So,
now, we didn't have metal detectors, but you might get cut.
Yeah,
and you will get jumped. Like, I done got jumped a couple times, but you ain't gonna get shot. I mean, that's just crazy. But
also that's the availability. The kid shouldn't be have the availability of the gun. It should be locked up somewhere, and that's the parents' responsibility to keep the guns under lock and key.
Every single one of these stories you hear, it's always a gun. Well, not always, but it's usually a legally obtained gun that someone crazy got a hold of in an inappropriate way. That, you know, whether they took it out of mom and dad's drawer or lockbox or whatever it is, like the kid up there in Connecticut that killed them babies, where I think his mom knew that he was crazy and she still had all those guns around. So, but it's just sad that it continues to happen, and unfortunately I don't see any end in sight. And I think who needs to be the one to stand up and say something is a group like the NRA, because they are very strong proponents of gun rights, and that's fine. You got the amendment that says that you can bear your arms, and I'm not going to sit here and rail against the Constitution, the outdated document that it is. But the reality of it is, if you're in a position where people that support you, have their guns legally, these people should be just as outraged as us people who don't think everybody should be able to have a gun, because they're making it bad for everybody. You going into a school and you killing kids and you own, with a legal gun, the NRA should be outraged by that, but you never hear them say a word.
And then the cops in there can't have guns. So it's like
security.
Yeah, security can't have guns.
Yeah.
So you already put them at a loss.
Yeah.
I mean, really? If you gonna go in school with a gun, I want security to have a gun so they can take them out before they do something. Before they do it, I'm really just I'm not a fan of this.
No, I'm not either. Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. This next case, when I saw it, y'all. I tried to get to it a minute ago, but we're gonna jump into it now. I'm also getting this from CNN. I know the story pretty well, so I'm not going to read it verbatim. I'll just kind of pick and choose the parts that I want. You got Charles Walker and Joseph Jenkins. People want to know, who are Charles Walker and Joseph Jenkins? Well, they were two convicted murderers in Florida who both have been given life sentences without the possibility of parole that were released. One in late September and one last week. They were released from prison because they had documents that stated that they should be released. The short version of this is obviously the documents were forged, and they had the name of a judge in the jurisdiction on the documents. And he, of course, was later interviewed and said, "Hey, man, you can get my signature from anywhere, from off of the internet, things of that sort." This is the same judge that was in charge of the Casey Anthony case. So a lot of documents could have very possibly been available, on the internet. But what I want to know, Brandy, I want you on this one first. How the hell do you get documents to look so good that it got past all those people? Now, you know how these people got caught? I'm gonna tell you how this happened. Let me set this completely up, and then I'll have you jump in. One of the parents of one of the murdered people that these cats killed years ago, she got a letter saying that the dude was released from prison, and she's like, he's not supposed to be released. And so that is kind of what started the ball rolling for them to kind of look and see what the heck has happened. And then when they got caught over the weekend, they homeboy snitched on them. That's how they got caught. Somebody that knew both of them, because apparently they knew each other. They just happened to kill people separately. They knew each other, which also leads to the possibility that they had one person or a series of people that helped them. Brandy, what do you think?
That's very scary, being that I work in an office that, you require judges' signatures on things to clean records and whatnot. So that's very scary because if anybody can do that, there's a lot of people that could walk around with clean records at this time. I don't know how they got the record to be... most of the records aren't public as far as that's concerned. You have to, they have the court records online where you can go to, but I've never seen a judge's signature online. But maybe it's different. Everything is different in Florida, evidently.
That's why. What do you think?
Wow. I'm fascinated how they could find it as well. I don't know if there's a spot online or maybe somebody that they know that they can get this information from.
Big Ro, what do you think?
They pay for some good stuff because it obviously worked, and it also goes to show how much people be paying attention these days, in places like, government localities and things of that such, especially in Florida.
Well, here's the thing, though. I don't know that I would say it's a situation where they weren't paying attention, because they had documents, and these documents got past several layers of people. I mean, they got past whoever was the warden. It got past whoever was responsible for physically releasing them. I mean, these documents must have looked pretty damn authentic for them to get past all of these people. Yeah, and I don't know that I would say that it's an omission on their part. Now, where I think the problem lies, in the investigation, when we find out who this mole is, and we'll call him the mole, whoever this mole is, on that level, that's the level we need to be questioning. But, once it got to the warden and it got to whoever released them, it must have looked pretty damn authentic for this to work.
I'm hypothesizing, but when I get court records, it usually has a stamp on it, it has a clerk's signature, and it has a judge's signature on it. So that's at least 3 different things that they have to go through before that paper can be sent out to be enacted. So it had to be somebody, except for in Florida. But in my opinion, it had to be somebody in the system that did that.
Absolutely. That's why we think.
They don't go back like you said. There are 3 signatures already on there. And you see, this person has like a life sentence. Is this a mistake? They don't go back and say, "Hey, judge, did you sign this really?" or anything like that.
I guess not. And you know what's crazy to me?
Good old Florida.
Big group. You know what's crazy to me?
What up?
The fact that this happened, these 2 dudes got out. Now, thankfully, while they was waiting for their ride from Atlanta, their homeboy snitched on them, and that's how they got caught. But thankfully,
I mean, people trying to go down.
But in all seriousness, like, how many people literally right now on the street, and we don't even know that they on the street and they supposed to be because of something like this?
Yeah, in Florida.
I mean, we keep picking on Florida. I know you keep saying Florida, but I mean, really, this could be anywhere, not just Florida.
It could be, but right now it ain't.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I changed my mind. I don't want to move to Florida.
Fair enough. Ain't no how Steppin Marcus Jack. Grambling University. Big Ro, you want to set up what's going on in Grambling?
Yeah. Their facilities are terrible, and the football players say, "I had enough. I ain't trying to get hurt. I ain't trying to get." I mean, we go into other places. and they got better stuff than us. So they got mad, and they was like, you know what, we ain't doing nothing. Full scholarships and all, man. I'm not playing. We causing a strike.
Not only that, they got mad that they fired Coach Doug Williams, who went 0-6 or whatever, and then they hired a new coach who still hadn't won a game, and they literally haven't won a game. The men's basketball team hasn't won it. They went 0-28 last season, like 0-28 last season. And as Big Rube said, the facilities and everything are all messed up. And the kids, they strike. They decided this weekend not to play. Now, here's where it gets a little bit hairy for me, Rube. This weekend, they had a game that they refused to play at, and that game was on the road, and that game was at the homecoming of the team that they were supposed to play. And forgive me, I don't have it right quite in front of me, but I'll look it up. But that's a lot of money that I'm sure Grambling is losing money for whatever reason. I mean, I guess we sat here and brainstormed, we could figure out how they lose money. But the team that they were supposed to play,
Jackson State.
Okay, that's him. That's them. Homecoming.
Are these HBCUs? I'm sorry.
Grambling is HBCU. Sure. Jackson State, I believe, as well. But I know for a fact that Grambling is definitely.
Yeah, Jackson State's a HBCU as well.
Yeah, historically black college and university for those folks that are unaware. But I don't know, Rube. When I think about that, I mean, I got mixed feelings on this one. I mean, you set it up, but you didn't give me your opinion. What do you think?
My opinion is, after I saw pictures of the place, yeah, that place is jacked up. Petersburg High looks better than that place. I'm just saying, I'm being real. It's just, yeah. I mean, that place, you can't, when you tell me you can't wash clothes good enough to avoid staph infections, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And I used to be a former manager in high school, so I understand. Yeah, that place looks so bad. That place probably shouldn't have been played in for the last 3-4 years. And the funny thing I read today was, well, we lost, we had to take a budget cut, yada, 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 whatever, So out of the $2 million, budget for football, they lost $75,000. Yo, real talk, $75,000 ain't gonna fix that building. Ain't gonna fix none of that. And then, the greatest thing ever, I was on, it was Saturday, and I watched the interview of the dean of the school. Yo, that dude is terrible. He sat there and said, they asked him, did you know about this stuff? This stuff ain't been touched in like at least 10 years. I mean, you got mold everywhere, cracks all over the place. He was like, no. Literally, just like that. And I was like, you're telling me you have no idea that this place looks like this? Yeah, I had no idea. And I was just like, you know what? You're a fool. You need to be fired. And, I hate to say this, but old dude was shucking and jiving, man. It was the worst. The worst, it was an old black dude who clearly knows that his job is gone. And then he had the nerve later on to be like, I'm not getting fired. I mean, I'm not quitting. Do we gotta fire? Really?
You don't have to quit.
You gonna make them fire you?
You know what's crazy about the whole Grambling thing though is, you got kids who I think part of it is just being frustrated that, the team stinks. Because do you really think the team that instead of being 0-7 or set versus 7-0 that they're going to not play?
Well, the problem with that is
even if the facilities are jacked up.
With those facilities, there's no way they could be 7-0. There's no way they can have a run the season. I mean, literally, my bathroom looks better in that place. And don't get me wrong, I have a great bathroom.
I was hoping that you came back from that.
Yeah, I mean, I clean my bathroom and stuff, but really, like, they should shower in my bathroom before they shower in that gymnasium. And last time I checked, they have people to clean stuff like that, or supposedly.
That was part of the $75,000.
I mean, $75,000 is not. I mean, they need to tear that down and redo it. I mean, they fired Doug Williams, y'all, the first black quarterback in the Super Bowl.
I mean, I don't know that that's a big deal.
Well, no, but he's been coaching there for years,
and the team hasn't been good for years. Maybe it was time
after
for him
Frank
to get
Robinson
fired.
left, how you gonna follow that? But I'm saying is The thing about
Joe
it is,
Girardi followed Joe Torre and won a World Series. It doesn't matter if you're a good coach, then it doesn't freaking matter.
The thing about it is, if you go to that school, are you going to go to that school? If you're a talent, are you going to go to that school looking at that place? Hell no.
Okay,
and that's the problem.
Then we can make the argument.
They couldn't have.
We can make the argument about the facilities, but
the facilities. That's honestly, you can say what you want, man, about whatever. Facilities makes a difference in different people winning and losing.
I mean, it may make a difference. However, I mean, even some of the best teams I probably have terrible equipment. It's the heart of how you play. I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a sports
you're
person
wrong.
for real. But
there's a reason why Alabama wins national championships. It's because
they have good equipment.
They have a great facility, so you can get the best players in the country.
Okay, that does make sense.
Good equipment, good facilities.
No, not good.
Okay,
great.
I got a question. When the kids are on strike now, they're not playing.
Oh no, they went back. They went back to practice.
Decided today to go back. Yeah.
Did they do anything to them about school, like suspend them or anything like that?
If they were to do that, which they can, it would make them even worse.
It would be even worse. All right, we're getting a hit on the MixLR page from Steven Sykes again. He says that there are many people who want to donate to fix it, but the school won't take it because they want it to go to the general fund, their pockets, which I don't know. You're going to have to tell me where you're getting that information, Steven. I have a hard time believing that.
I haven't heard that. But it's not. It doesn't surprise me.
It wouldn't necessarily surprise me, but I need to know where that information is coming from. Ain't no how Steppin Marcus J. Proud and happy to have on the live line with us. It joins us from time to time. You got your man K-Dub on the live line. What's up, bro?
K-Dub.
What's up, family? How y'all doing in there?
Hey,
what up, yo?
What you got, man? I understand you want to get in on this Grambling thing.
I was calling and I may have missed a little bit, but I did hear something about there was money that was donated through Doug Williams, and it was actually rejected by the school. That was actually something that I read on ESPN as well as another news outlet that reported that as well. And just looking at it, I'm glad. I'm really glad that they stood up for themselves, because I'm quite sure that the facilities were not, it didn't just happen within the last year. I'm quite sure that those particular facilities were bad maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And I know for a fact, just talking about, some schools, their facilities are similar to Grambling. But what I wanted to kind of say was that, it would if this happens where the changes at the athletic facilities are changed, I could foresee certain things such as players not playing, for different things coming up, such as paying of athletes. I heard a figure earlier today that, let's say this particular situation happened at the University of Alabama, just for that one game, they would lose $16 million just for one game. So, I'll just wrap it up by saying this, that, a lot of these college athletics, a lot of the college players have a lot more power than what they think that they have. If they want to create change, they definitely have a lot more power than what they may think that they have.
Ain't no half Steppin Marcus J. That's your man K-Dub. Thank you, brother. Talk to you soon, man.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no half Steppin Marcus J. All right, real quick, while K-Dub was getting in on that, I actually went online to try to see if I could find something that kind of confirms what Steven Sykes, host of Enliven Radio right here, legacyinnetradio.com every Tuesday from 7 to 9. And I did find something from the TucsonCitizen.com, which is also on the USA Today. And I'll just kind of read a part of it. It says these financial straits are one reason that James Shaq Harris, a former Grambling quarterback who became the first black to make an NFL start at the position, says there's a need for unity and communication between the administration and private fundraising groups. Quote, it's hard to find donors willing to give money, but they rejected our money. Even with the budget deficit, the administration wasn't willing to come together with us. We have to bring all of the willing people together. So, Stephen, you are right. I stand corrected, which is also the same thing that K-Dub was saying to us on the live line when he was just with us. Rube, take the last word on this one. Does this change anything for you with regards to this at all? The fact that they had an opportunity to get money, but they decided not to take it because they wanted it to go for the entire school and not just the athletic department?
It is such thing as being too proud, and I I see this. I'll put it like this. I see that in our people, in our black people a lot. Sometimes we get a little too proud to accept help or whatever like that. This is a classic, example of it.
Ain't no how Steppin, Marcus J. The last thing I'll just say on this is that when you mention a school like Alabama, big time schools, or even my own school, Virginia Union University, who we just had our homecoming this weekend, a lot of schools, they make their money off of athletics.
Yeah.
Off of straight up athletics. And so when you've got someone that wants to donate some money to your school's athletic department, when you should know that ultimately the success of your athletic department is going to lead to the success of your school, that to me is a problem. Again, I stand corrected, Stephen. I was unaware of that information. I'm glad you brought it out, and so did K-Dub. Ain't no how Steppin with Marcus J. Rube. Take the last word.
There are about 5 to 7 schools in NCAA that make a profit from football. Alabama is one. Surprisingly, Old Dominion is one as well. But there's not very many. Most of it is a negative. People take negatives. Most colleges take negatives over football because all that money, but you got to pay out a lot of money too.
Right.
So it's just like, Grambling lost a game. Yeah, they lost some cash. It's going to hurt them more than they think, and they need to go ahead and put their hand out if people want to help them.
Gotcha. Ain't no how Steppin, Marcus J. All right, we're going to take an interesting turn here. Brandy, did you hear about the dude from Walmart that got fired because he was helping a woman in the parking lot who was being sexually assaulted by an abusive ex, but Walmart thought that he was violating their code that says that you ain't supposed to be fighting, and so they fired him?
I didn't read the whole article.
I got this on the USA Today, yes.
I didn't read the whole article.
Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart.
Now, they did backtrack and they rehired the guy. But they say, quote, "We took a step back and looked at the information. We realized his intentions were good, and we've reached out to him to offer him his job back and let him know that he's welcome back at our store." That's why. Christopher Oswald, he's 30 years old. He's from Linden, Michigan. He got fired last Tuesday for scuffling with a man who was attacking his girlfriend. Of course, his firing made national news and caused a furor against Walmart. Now we're making fun of it. We're late because they've offered him his job, but they fired the dude for trying to help somebody in the parking lot getting that ass beat. Like, really, Walmart?
That's really so messed up. Now,
that's a what the hell.
The rule, that's a straight up what the hell.
Yeah.
The rule would be no fighting at
work,
Walmart, inside the four walls.
But even if that was the case, like if you was working at Walmart and you saw somebody sucker punch not the manager, because you might want them to sucker punch the manager.
You want to help.
But if you saw somebody just punch somebody in the face right there in front of you inside the store, like instinctual,
you would help.
Right.
You would help. Walmart should have been happy that they had.
Maybe not at Walmart no more. Maybe you might just get that ass beat at Walmart across the country.
Maybe that guy would have sued if he was fighting inside of Walmart.
I guess so.
That would have gave Walmart
all those cameras they have outside of there, and they waited until the last minute to check and see what that dude was.
They waited until they got fussed at by the national media before they decided to do anything. Big Roo, what do you think, man?
I mean, they fired the dude simply because he fought. Now it's Walmart's responsibility, and the parking lot is what it is, and they can fight. Hey, it has nothing to do with Walmart, even though you own our property.
Right.
You just can't sue me because you got hurt on my property. I ain't beat you up.
Right.
Well, with the guy in it, then they actually now become, hey, we're involved now, and that's why they probably fired him.
I guess I can dig that, but I still think
that don't make it right.
I still think
it make it what it is.
I just think it's crazy as hell. Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. All right, that's why I want you in this one first. I'm getting this one from the Huffington Post. Arnold Schwarzenegger is in the news. Arnold Schwarzenegger is in the news because he wants to run for president of the United States. Now we know constitutionally that's not possible. Quote, Schwarzenegger has been talking openly about working on getting the constitutional rules changed so that he can run for president in 2016. This is what a source has told the Post. He is ready to file legal paperwork to challenge the rules. The relevant segment in the Constitution is Article 2, Section 1, Clause V. It reads as follows. No person except a natural born citizen or citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible to the office of president. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who shall not have attained the age of 35 years and been 14 years a resident within the United States. Translation, if you wasn't born here, you can't be the
Then
president.
forget it.
So what are your thoughts?
So he's going to work to try to change that so he can run for president.
Yes.
It's not going to happen.
Why not? Apparently he's getting some support in the House.
I don't think it's going to happen.
From the
I
Republicans?
don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's
You-
what,
you-
that's what I was going to
From the Republicans?
He's
Nice.
getting some support now. Apparently, you have to have 2/3 of support from both houses, the
In
House,
order to
the
run.
Congress, as well as the Senate, for the article in the Constitution to be amended. What I fear happening here, and Brandon, give me your opinion on this. What I fear happening here. Let's say, for example, this works. Okay, we all know Arnold. He's been here forever. He's made movies. He's been the governor. We know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is. And, you know, I'm not going to get into the fact that he's a Republican or a Democrat because I don't really care about either of those two parties. I'm independent. But we know him. And, you know, I think I'd rather trust the devil I know versus the devil I don't know. And if you set the bar for this to happen, then you open yourself up for people who may come here outside of, you know, maybe set up citizenship. These people have shown to be very patient. Set up citizenship, be here 14 years. Next thing you know, they get the prominence. They, you know, fool the right people. And now you got, you know, Adolf Hitler running the country.
You're absolutely right. I guess that was part of the reasoning why they decided to put that article in the Constitution in the first place. But yes, we know Arnold. Yes, I just can't see him being the president. I thought of him as a joke when he was the governor of California. I really did. I mean, I don't live there. I don't know how good he did for California, but I can't see it. And then the next thing you know, it's going to be a Hispanic running for it, and all the white people are going to be mad and say, "No, you weren't born here," and they're going to be against them. But, you know, hey, whatever.
You know what's crazy about that? You know, white folk going to be a minority. I think they said it was 2060 or whatever. You know, they'll be a minority, and the Hispanics or Latinos, I think it's the correct phrase we're supposed to use, will actually outnumber them. And with him being a Republican governor in a blue state, and to be a popular one, two-term popular one, is odd, but I think that gives him credibility.
Was California a blue state?
California is always a blue state.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they were red.
Nah,
No.
California's blue like New York.
The last time that California was red was when
I think it was Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan.
Yeah,
That was the last time
in
they
the
were red.
70s. Yeah,
80s.
he was elected president in
Yeah, but wait.
1980.
Correct.
Okay,
But they were red then.
okay. All right, we're playing with semantics. But what's your thoughts?
What do you mean? You said the 70s. I correct you. You said the 80s.
Because
That's not semantics.
he was elected in 1980.
All right.
And he was the governor in the 70s.
Well,
when
I mean,
it was
you were
red.
wrong.
Anyway,
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, whatever. What's your thoughts on
Don't
Arnold?
be dismissing me.
I just did. What's your
I mean,
thoughts
you
on
think you
Ronald? What's Ronald? Arnold.
So
What's
you
your
look
thoughts
at
on
you,
Arnold?
I'm in your head. Hey, man, don't give me that. I'm rolling. Hey, you gonna let somebody come to your house and tell you what to do? No. So I don't understand how we're gonna let somebody who's not from the United States of America come in and tell us what we're gonna do. Nah, it's not gonna happen.
But you know what's funny about that? To use your analogy, he's gonna have to have support from people in that house to be able to pull it off. And the sad part about it is, there's going to be some people that will support him.
He better get it done in the next 2 months.
There's going to be some people who support him, the individual, who will not have the sight to see in the future how detrimental this could eventually end up being, Brandy.
Isn't he still making stupid movies?
He just got finished making a stupid movie with
Stupid
Sylvester
movie?
Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
I haven't
Stupid
seen him in a
movies?
movie in
That's
so
tough.
long.
I mean,
The
you know,
last one I think was the
Hey, The
other one
Expendables
with
was
Jet
good.
Li and
The
was
Expendables
it?
2 was
'Cause
good.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Expendables is good. He's supposed to be in the third one that comes out next summer, and
Like
he's
I
in a
said,
prison movie with Stallone that's coming out next month.
Stay in the
Like
movie.
I said, I
Stay in the movie,
just
baby.
don't take him
Arnold.
seriously. I don't.
Stay in the movie, Arnold.
Well,
And the man that we already have a high standards for our presidents. They're not supposed to cheat. He cheated on Maria. He has an illegitimate child by a Hispanic woman,
Oh,
Latina.
the housekeeper or something,
Yeah, the
right?
house. Not making good
It's
decisions
all gonna
here.
come
I mean, but we had Bill Clinton who,
yeah.
did some things on the side.
You can say what you
Well,
want.
got
You can say what you want, but if you watch Scandal, Melly was 100% modeled after Hillary Clinton, And if you think I'm wrong, just go back and look at the parallels between Melly on Scandal and Hillary Clinton. The only difference is one of them has been elected to a national office, Hillary being a state senator in New York, and Melly just hadn't gotten that far yet.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
I don't want to make this a scandal discussion, but you know, the reality is, you know, I think the fact that, you know, Arnold he has some skeletons in his closet. I don't think those skeletons are big enough to stop him. I think if his name was on the ballot, I think because of his name, enough would give him some credibility, which I think is scary. Ain't no have Steppin, Marcus J. Rube, I want you on this one first. I've got this one also from the Huffington Post. I spent a lot of time on Huffington Post.
Maybe too much.
Maybe too much. Michael Dunn, he is the Florida man charged with shooting 17-year-old Jordan Davis after an argument over loud music. Is currently awaiting trial, maintaining that he acted in self-defense on the night of that confrontation. Now, reason why his name has come up, he's writing letters from jail that have been obtained by the media, and he rants about killing, quote, thugs, so they, quote, take the hint and change their behavior. Black on white crime and liberal media is making this a big deal per him. He wrote a letter to his grandmother. He says, quote, the jail is full of blacks and they all act like thugs. This may sound a bit radical, but if more people would arm themselves and kill these expletive idiots, which I would say the word if it was here just says expletives, when they're threatening you eventually, they may take the hint and change their behavior. He continues and says, I'm really not prejudiced against any race, but I have no use for certain cultures. Think about that. I'm really not prejudiced against a race, but I have no use for certain cultures. This gangster rap, ghetto talking thug culture that certain segments of society flock to is intolerable. They espouse violence and disrespect towards women. The black community here in Jacksonville is an uproar against me. The 3 other thugs that were in the car are telling stories to cover up their true colors.
And he doesn't like Jews either.
There's more quotes here, which I won't. I guess if it comes up, we'll talk more about them. But I think we've said enough on it. What do you think?
Nice to know we got the modern day Adolf Hitler already in jail. I mean, because he sounds a lot like Mr. Hitler. You know, the only thing he didn't say is that he doesn't like Jewish people. It is what it is. He needs to stay in jail for real.
Kaz, what do you think about this? And we haven't gotten a word in from you tonight. What do you think?
I think they just gonna body him while he in there. Like they gonna body him while he in there. If he has no kind of, what he say? No problem with any kind of culture.
He says that I'm not really prejudiced against a race, but I have no use for certain cultures.
Lies. And then he went on ghetto gangster rap. Somebody gonna body him while he in there.
Well, it's also the thing that you got to remember, and I think what ends up happening is you get, you know, certain people want to attack you for pointing out their bullshit. You know what I mean? Like you could sit here and say what you just said and use the code language that you're using. Like everybody knows when you say gangster rap and thug culture and all that kind of stuff, everybody knows you're talking about black folk. Like there's no,
unless you're in Wisconsin,
everybody knows you're talking about black folk. But when we point out that we know you talking about black folk, then we get to be called a racist for calling you one. You see what I'm saying? This is the mind games and the tricks that they try to use against you. And the sad part about it is this dude right here is not in the minority. He's not the minority. You know what I mean? There are a lot of people undercover who feel like how he feels. And that's kind of scary to me because these are the people like George Zimmerman who shoot down, unarmed kids in the street, and how this guy, he did the same thing. This Dunn guy did the same thing a few months after George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin. And the thing is, Jordan Davis's name hasn't been out there, but it will, not just because of these letters, but because of the situation. Still in Florida, he used a stand your ground, just like he shot a kid who was in a car who he said he thought had a gun, and there was no guns found. You know what I mean? So he opened fire inside a car. And for those people who don't know the story, look it up, Google it while you're on your computer listening to us, and you'll see what this Dunn fella did to Jordan Davis. And this is a name that you're going to hear, just like we heard Trayvon Martin, because there's money in media and saying white folk do bad stuff to black people. Let's be honest, y'all. You know, would we be having this conversation if Dunn was black? Probably not.
You know, the funny thing about it is he's going to learn real quick that black people can watch TV and they understand who people are, because this is going to be on the news and they're going to be like, oh, that white dude over there? Oh
He'll
yeah,
be
wait
doing it in
till it's time to go
Aryan Nation
outside. You know, and it's just like, I mean, you can't go if, you know, you can say what you want from the comfort of your own couch, but you can't say that in a place where you're surrounded by these quote unquote, what was it, gangster type dudes,
Gangster culture, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're going to either beat you, kill you, or turn you into a woman. One of the three.
Yeah, I can dig
All three.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Ain't no hashtag Marcus J. That's why we think about this.
I really do. I really do. He's gonna get his.
Yeah.
He's gonna get it, and I really think he's pretty much just like the people he's trying to talk about.
Yeah.
He's gonna get it.
Yeah, ain't no hashtag Marcus J. All right, last thing I really want to get to, I'm combining two stories here. The first one is, I know last week we talked about Ben Carson, who said that Obamacare is punishment for, or not punishment. He said that Obamacare is the worst thing that happens to this country since slavery, which I thought was an outrageously ludicrous thing for any person to say when you're comparing an act, an act signed by the president to something like slavery, which I think anytime, people want to invoke the name of slavery or a situation with regards to slavery, you minimize it. No one ever says things like,
servitude.
Yeah, nobody ever says it's the worst thing since the Holocaust. Like, nobody ever says stuff like that. But anyway, you got an Arkansas restaurant who actually has a sign that they put up that says Obamacare, America's punishment for slavery years. This is what it says. This is what it says. It's a photograph of it. It's in Arkansas. Once again, I'm getting this from my favorite website. What is it called?
The Huffington
There
Post.
you go. There you go. And of course you got residents that are outraged by it. Johnny Howard, owner of Smoking Joe's Rib House in Rogers, upset community members and business patrons when he posted that sign. The sign, which was up for 45 minutes, was taken down and replaced with one that says, "Why cook? Get some carry out." I apologize for the sign. It's offending people as it did. I didn't intend for it to be racist at all. I just talked a minute ago about this guy, Dunn, who is using the code language, gangster rap and all of that kind of stuff, using code lingo. When you say things like, I didn't intend for it to be racist oriented at all, I mean, when you say things like this, like, Brandy,
Well, number one, you didn't say the Affordable Health Care Act. You said Obamacare.
Thank you.
That's number one. Number two, comparing it to slavery. No, you know how bad slavery was supposed to be, and you couldn't find anything else.
How could he not mean it to be racist? When you think slavery, you automatically think black. So how could he not mean it to be racist?
The worst thing since the World Trade. I mean the worst thing.
But even if you want to take black folk out of it, like you said, World Trade, or what about the concentration camps and all the crazy stuff that was happening to the Japanese? I mean,
they don't. Nobody knows about that stuff.
You know what I mean? What about Jim Crow was pretty damn bad too. I mean, it's just crazy to me. And then we get to be labeled racist when we point out this craziness. And that to me is what drives me crazy. We getting a couple of hits. We got Mom hanging out with us. What's going on, Sexy C? She says, hey to you guys. Steven is hitting us up again. He says, we don't have the answers to everything. Everyone can help everyone. What if a cure for cancer was made by a foreign person, won't share it because it's from another country? He's alluding to the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing. I disagree with that. I don't think that, we can allow an outsider to come into this country and lead this country. I just think that sets the wrong precedent. I think that's one of the things our forefathers got right, because they had just come from Europe and they left Europe. They fled Europe and they put that in there, I'm pretty sure, because they didn't want somebody to come here from the country they just came from and take over, because then they'd be dealing with the same stuff here in America that they had just got finished dealing with in their home country. Ain't no half stepping, Marcus J. The last thing I wanted to get into, kind of keeping with the Obamacare thing, we know the website's been crazy, and the president has come out and said that he understands that there's been problems with it, and I just kind of want to get everybody's thoughts on the fact that he's saying something now about the glitches in the website and the problems that some people are claiming to have, Brandy? What do you think?
Anytime you start up a new website, there are going to be glitches in it. It's just the fact that this is the president's project and his act that was passed, that it's such a big deal because they're expecting him to fail at what he did. They want him to fail at what he did. So they're making a big deal out of it. I'm pretty sure when the first computer came out, it had glitches in it.
Right.
When Mac first came out, there were some glitches in it, but nobody says anything about that. Nobody is comparing. It's going to happen with the amount of people in the United States that want to sign up for this. They're probably crashing the system every time they bring it up.
Okay, now I know.
Yeah, I mean, I think to me that's a no-brainer. Anybody who, has, a little bit of knowledge about computers and servers and things of that sort. I mean, if we had so many people listening to Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J, they would probably have a hard time if they all rushed Legacy Internet Radio. But the good thing about that is we got Legacy Internet Radio, we got MixLR, we got TuneIn, we got Loud City. You know what I mean? So we got so many avenues that you can be down with us that ain't gonna happen with us. Ain't no Half Steppin' with Marcus J. Call us up 804-402-2893. We get ready to jump into our first break of the night. And when we come back, I am happy. Well, first of all, we got a missing child that we got to get to, and we also got to pay a bill. But I'm excited because we got SY. She's going to lead us in her segment. And she didn't tell me a whole lot about what we're going to do. So I'm excited to be just as surprised as everybody else is. And she's giving me the face like, just roll with me as I set up the teas. You know what I'm saying? You got me? You got me? She ain't got me. She just making faces at me. Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. We got Brandy, we got SY, we got Kaz, we got Big Rube, me, and you, the crew. Stay with us. We'll be back in a minute.